Hello, our distinguished listeners. You are most welcome to our program on faith-based advocacy for greater social cohesion in various communities. For this episode, we shall be discussing on the sanctity of life. I am Rukaya Musa Kinta, your host. Together with me are Imam Ibrahim Yahya.
Assalamu alaikum.
You are most welcome.
Thank you.
And Reverend Bahago Dauda.
Thank you.
You are most welcome. To start with the first question, Alhaji Ibrahim Yahya, what are the textual evidence about the sanctity of life in Islam?
Thank you. First and foremost, life is sacred and one of the greatest gifts and blessings of God to mankind. Preservation, promotion, and enhancement of life is one of the higher intents of law in Islam, and that is why there is a serious emphasis on its protection. When you hear the word Sharia, which they translate as Islamic law, the most important aspect of this is the protection of human life. Quran, in many places, talks about the sanctity of human life. For example, when you look at Quran chapter 5, verse 32, it says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Annahu man qatala nafsan bighayri nafsin aw fasadin fil ardi faka'annama qatala an-nasa jami'an wa ahyaha wa man ahyaha faka'annama ahya an-nasa jami'an, which means that it doesn't matter whose life we are talking about. Whoever, if anyone slays a human being, unless it be in punishment for murder or for spreading corruption on earth, it shall be as though he had slain all mankind. Whereas if one saves a life, it shall be as though he had saved the lives of mankind. That's in Quran chapter 5, verse 32. Which means, in this case, Quran is indiscriminate when it comes to the issue of taking life anyhow. Every human, irrespective of their faith, social standing, or gender, is a spiritual being whose life is sacred. Therefore, harming or taking it unjustly is a great sin and crime that is punishable by death, irrespective of the murder person's religious identity. Quran also goes further. In Quran chapter 4, verse 29, it says, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِكُمْ رَحِيمًا, which means, and do not kill one another. Surely Allah is merciful to you. In fact, some Mufassirun, the people who explains Quran, we call them the exegetes who explain Quran, some of them even say that this verse also combines both homicide and suicide. That وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ, do not kill yourself and do not kill other people, take other people's life. Which means that do not kill one another. Quran also says further that وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَهُلَادَكُمْ مِنْ إِمْلَاقٍ نَحْنُ نَرْزُقُكُمْ وَإِيَّاهُمْ وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الْفَوَاحِشَ مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا وَمَا بَطَنَ وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ ذَلِكُمْ وَصَاكُمْ بِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. That is Quran chapter 6, verse 151. It talks about even prohibition from taking the lives of your own children. Not to even talk of somebody you don't know. You can't say because they are children, it's my child. I can deal with him or with my child the way I want. No, that goes beyond you as human being. You don't have that power. You don't have that authority. Even the life that has not been born, like fetus, any fetus that has developed life of its own, you can't take it unjustifiably, except according to Sharia, if the life of the mother is at risk, is in danger. So, for us to understand the weighty implication of taking life unjustifiably, so Quran is saying in that chapter 6, verse 151, that do not kill your children and do not take life that without justice. So that means you don't have the power under the law to take that life. When it comes to threatening the issue of suicide, Quran says that وَلَا تُلِكُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى تَحَلُّكَ وَحَاسِنُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ, which means do not throw yourself into destruction and do good. Truly Allah loves the good doers. Which means that do not use your own hand to attract what will put your life in danger. It's a general warning to human beings not to use their own hands, their own way of doing things to attract death to themselves. You can't say because my life belongs to me. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to your Creator. So you can't take it at will, which means you cannot deliberately kill yourself. You can't go on suicide mission. Islam does not support it. The Prophet ﷺ says the first cases to be decided among the people on the day of resurrection will be those of bloodshed. According to Bukhari. So for those people that are taking joy and are happy, like trigger happy people, just go on killing people anyhow, unjustifiably. No, they have that to contend with on the day of judgment. It says further, a believer will continue to be at liberty with his religion as long as he does not shed unlawful blood. That is available in Bukhari as well. It says also, among the nations before you, there was a man who got a wound, and growing impatient because of that wound, he took knife and cut his own hand, and the blood did not stop till he died. Allah said, my slave hurried to bring death upon himself, so I've forbidden him to enter paradise. Which means, by implication, anybody who willfully takes his own life will not enter paradise. So, in this case, we are not talking about someone else's life. Even your own life, you can't take it. You can see a sort of strong safeguard against people who take joy in taking lives anyhow without due justice. So, Islam does not want this to happen.
Interesting. So you don't have right to take your own life,
yes,
nor take the life of someone.
Exactly.
And that is what we have learned so far. Thank you so much, Reverend Bahago. What can you say regarding the sanctity of life from the Christian perspective?
The Christian teaching on the sanctity of human life is founded on Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. When God was creating the universe and it got to the point when he was to create man, he said, let us make man in our own image and likeness. Now, that is what we call the imago Dei. There are two Latin words, imago Dei, the image of God. Every human being is the image of God, because God said, let us make man in our own image and likeness. Since every human person has that image of God in him, the Spirit of God, which he breathed into him at creation, no one else has the right to take it. So the teaching of Christianity on the sanctity of human life is founded on this. And if you look further in Genesis chapter 4, when Cain decided to kill Abel, he was banished for that. He was banished for that. He was condemned for that. And also in Exodus chapter 20, when God was giving out the 10 commandments, he said, thou shalt not kill. Exodus 20:13, thou shalt not kill. So no one, like our father said, has the right to take life, be it in the form of abortion, be it in the form of suicide, or what some people even call mercy killing. Mercy killing, you see someone in pain, and you see, oh, this person is going through so much pain. Let me help him to go out of this pain.
And just kill.
And then you kill him. Either in the hospital or at the war front, or maybe the person is aged. too old and you say, oh, this person has lived too long, and the old age is even more of a burden to him now than a blessing. So you say, okay, in that case, let us just help the person. No, you have no right to kill the person. It is only God who gave the life that has the right to take it back.
Thank you so much. Malen Ibrahim, what are some measures that we need to put in place to protect human life in Islam?
You see, in order to further consolidate the prohibition of taking life unjustly, Quran chapter 4 verse 93 says, "But whoever deliberately slays another believer, his requital shall be hell therein to abide, and God will condemn him, and will reject him, and will prepare for him awesome suffering." That's Quran chapter 4 verse 93. So with this type of thing, you discover that screws are being tightened against people who want to be trigger happy in such a way that they don't care in taking people's life. And those probably because of their dirty behavior, unwholesome behavior, wants to take their own life. Islam is against all this. Therefore, as a measure to protect life, Islam laid down law of equitable distribution, that is qisas, in order to deter intending criminals. Allah says, "O you who believe, the law of equality in punishment is prescribed for you in case of murder, the free for the free, the slave for the slave, and the female for the female." In Quran chapter 2 verse 178. This is not to allow people to turn societies into a crime scene in such a way that people will be killing at will. If you are sure that when you kill, you are likely to be killed, you will take caution. No matter who you are in the society, they say law is no respecter of anybody, which means that retributive law is always there as a sort of fall back on type of arrangement to ensure, to deter people from wanting to kill other people. Now, appropriate deterrence is provided in Islam for both deliberate and accidental killing, regardless of religion or status of the victim. Killing by individuals or group in the name of jihad in Islam is completely contrary to the teachings of Islam. The word jihad does not in itself mean killing. It means, because it's an Arabic word, it means strive, struggle, exert effort, try and do something. For example, as we're in the studio now, wanting to enlighten the public, we are striving to do something good, to make people aware of their own religious duty, of their own individual roles and responsibility in this world, and their own way of helping the society and bring cohesion and peace in the society. So we are striving in the cause of God. Exactly. That is jihad. So the word jihad, because in jihad means striving, qatl is the word killing. So, and when you say jihad, in many places in the Quran, man jahada, yajhad, and so on and so forth, which means encouraging people to take action that will help the society, help your family, help your group, help your religion through peaceful manner. But because people are human beings, they can go to any extreme to fight each other. Provision is made that you cannot take life unjustly. So you have to limit it to the level of argument and misunderstanding, and you find a way of resolving it through the process of forgiveness and reconciliation. Yes. So, as we discussed in the previous episode. Yeah. Therefore, Islam want people to understand better what they mean by jihad. Jihad in Islam is against aggression and oppression in matters and not issue of religion alone. Security of life is the responsibility of all. Therefore, we should avoid anything whatsoever that would lead to loss of life. And on the part of the security agencies, They are put in place as appropriate authority, and they should be up to their task in discharging their responsibilities. They should be out to punish anyone convicted of murder, irrespective of that person's social status in the society. If we do this, it will serve as a deterrence to others who may be nursing the idea or the intention to continue killing people without just cause.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Reverend Bahagu, what can you also add regarding measures to be put in place to protect human life?
In the Catholic Church, the Catechism of the Catholic Church, that is the teaching of the Catholic Church, is a document, number 2264. It says that self-preservation, that the fundamental principle of morality is love and preservation of one's life. The fundamental principle of morality is love and preservation of one's life. As it is often said, self-preservation is man's first instinct. Okay? Now, there are measures that have been put in place in terms of defending or protecting human life. First, self-defense. Okay? Self-defense. To some extent, because you cannot say that because I'm defending myself, then I will willfully kill the other person. If you come to attack me, I am bound to protect myself, to defend myself, not by killing you, but by disarming you. It is only when death occurs as an accident of trying to disarm you and eventually you die, then. But if deep within me, I knew that hitting you here was going to kill you, and I did that, then I'm guilty of murder before my God. Okay? Before my God. Also, Christianity has been pushing, together with governments, being in discussion with the governments, to eradicate capital punishment in terms of offense. So, the Catholic Church, for instance, has said there are many ways to punish someone. Is it possible? I'm bringing this because, Alhaji made a point about deterrence,
yes,
okay?
Yeah.
Having a deterrence, if you know that you kill someone, you'll be killed, okay? Well, but for us, we say, you that is also killing that person, but you are not God. He has killed, You shouldn't also kill him. There should be a way of deterring, a strenuous way of punishing the person that does not lead to capital punishment, okay? Then we also talk about, in the case of marriage, if a couple lives together and there is a threat to the life of the other, of any of them, either of them, the church permits not divorce, but separation. They can live apart in order to preserve the life of the one who is in danger or the one who is threatened, okay? So these are some of the measures that we have that have been put in place in order to ensure that life is being defended. And there are also movements, the pro-life movement, for instance, which we champion a lot, to say that life is sacred. We should always preserve it in any form.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all your efforts. Alhaji Ibrahim, some people will think that I can go and kill this person because he's not the same faith with me. I can kill this person because he's a Jew. I will kill this one because... What can you say about that? Is that true, actually? One can kill someone?
Well, it's not true, because unless it's for other extraneous reasons, when it's come to religion, religion itself is self-guiding. It puts in place mechanism to safeguard itself, because by virtue of religious teachings, you have the what, the why, the how, the who, and the where of how to practice religion. So religion itself provides mechanism for how to safeguard itself. You cannot say because you want to preach religion, you go and kill people unjustly. We always need to know that we are all humans. And in any place, in any society, you put in place military formations to do what? To deter people. They are not there to play with their guns. They are looking for those who are out to be messy and to be irrational by killing people. When they kill people, the next thing they will do is they will be killed. Because that is the law, the natural law. You have killed people deliberately, probably in spite of the warnings, in spite of teachings, in spite of the orientation. Yes, you bet on killing people deliberately. You will be killed. That is natural justice. But what a religion will do is to urge you to forgive and follow it up with reconciliation. Religion will prescribe that one. But at the same time, when it's come to believe, worshiping Allah, Islam has already laid down regulations on how to go about it. There's in the Quran, that's lakum dinukum waliya din. When the polytheists of Mecca, they invited the prophet that, so with all this your new way of doing things, why can't you join us to worship with us, our forefathers and whatever? He said, if you want to do your own, you're already doing it. Hold on to whatever you are doing. My own is to proclaim. The job of a messenger is to deliver the message. Lasta alayhim bimusaythir. You are not to force them to worship. Illa man tawalla wa kafara fayu'adhibu Allahu azabal akbar. Inna ilayna iyaba'u wa inna alayna hisaba'u. So leave that one for me to punish whoever refused to worship me. It's not for you, O Muhammad. That is made clear. And if you want to be a true Muslim, you must go by the way the Prophet carried out delivering of message. Because he says, the work of a messenger is to deliver clear message. Just make your message to be clear. You cannot force people to be believers. So Islam is already clear on that. But in our own society, probably because of the way we carry out our lives and whatever, we seem to be putting pressure on people to do whatever probably they don't want to do. So what reward are you expecting from that type of thing? You are doing that to achieve what? Is it to achieve the countenance of God, the satisfaction of God, or you are doing it to achieve your own personal objective? So that should be distinguished. If you are calling to the way of God, id'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah wa bi mau'izatil hasana. Call unto the way of your Lord with hikmah, with wisdom, wal mau'izatil hasana, and good preaching. Not abuse, not condemnation, and not cursing people, and not killing people in the extreme. So if you, by the time you call people with preaching, they will enjoy what you have called them to come and do. But if you start abusing and condemning people, it will be with hostility. At the end of the day, you will lose the reward you are expecting from that effort. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Reverend Bahago, what can you say regarding some people that think because you are not a Christian, you are not, I'm going to kill you? So what?
And that is absurd, so absurd, because we all have freedom of worship. Everyone has that freedom of worship. And, in terms of a religion, if someone disagrees with you or says, okay, you have your religion, I have my religion, you shouldn't kill the person. Like, Alaji said, you should do that by way of preaching to them. In one instance, St. Paul went to Athens and he saw, different altars dedicated to different gods. But he was coming to preach to them about the one true God, okay? So he said to them, I can see that you people are religious. And I passing through your town, your city, I could see different altars raised to different gods. But there is one I want to talk about. One of the altars was labeled to the unknown God, or to an unknown God. He says, I am here to talk to you about that unknown God, which you cannot know by your human wisdom or by being physical, seeing him physically. So he spoke to them about that. And a lot of them, they followed him. They understood with him, okay? So it's not, if you feel that someone has, for instance, we say the person has offended my religion. Romans chapter 12 verse 19 says, vengeance belongs to God. It's not for you to take vengeance or to fight for God. God is all powerful.
No fight for him.
So, he's all power. He has the power to do that, okay? If there is someone who is daring God, then God has a way of dealing with the person. So we shouldn't go about killing people because the person does not agree with us in terms of our faith, or the person is of a different religion. Yeah.
Now, on a final note, Imam Yahya, what do you have for our listeners?
Well, I subscribe to the reasons given by my colleague here, because the power you don't have, you can't use it. Unless if you are drunk or you have lost your senses. As I said, even the man-made laws, they guarantee the freedom to do this and to do that. When it's come to believing in God, it's directed to God and not to fellow human beings. Therefore, we must be ready to abide by the teachings of our religion concerning how to worship God. That's the only time we can enjoy worshiping God, and we have reward for that.
Thank you so much, Reverend Father. Your final message for our listeners.
Life is sacred. Defend it. Protect it.
Thank you very much, my distinguished facilitators. Thank you so much. Our listeners, we really appreciate your time for listening to us. Join us in our next episode. I remain your host, Rukaya Musa Kenta. Bye.